you know what, we will start talking and then I will just do the presentation. So first of all, can you present yourself and tell something about you?
Yes. Hi. I'm Danii. I live in Germany, based in Hamburg, and I'm a textile designer and illustrator.
Yeah. Great.
And I concentrate on botanical illustration and elements like flowers and plants and fruits. Actually, I studied fashion design, and from that, when I graduated, I was pretty much done with it. I started working as a stylist because I don't know, I never thought I would be good enough, like typical imposter syndrome, like everyone has.
Yeah.
I think it's so difficult to like find confidence within your own work. And I had to, do lots of stuff, prove myself in lots of different fields to actually come back. I have this book, I don't know if you guys have that in the Netherlands, where you're in like first class or something, and then you have a book where every one of your classmates has to sign it, put a picture, and answer questions like, what's your favorite hobby? What do you do? What do you want to be when you're grown up? And I put artist.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be like some kind of artist.
So at what point did you go more towards your own business and having your own illustration business?
I think it started when I moved to Cologne to do a job with a kids fashion magazine, and I just started to question and to illustrate on the side and have my fabric square project. And then this job was over because they actually, the magazine moved to Milan.
Mm-hmm.
So not work for me anymore in Cologne. Then I started to do my master's and really, it really came back at some point because I really wanted to be creative again. I kind of stopped. It started with those little fabric pieces actually. It felt good to have not an empty sheet, which is for some people super scary, have
it can be, yes.
Yeah. So I had those little fabric squares and was just creating something on them and was sharing them with lots of people, and the feedback was really nice and everyone loved creating something on those squares. So, and then I started scanning them and manipulating them with Photoshop and did kaleidoscope patterns out of it and uploaded them to contests. This is when I won this challenge to win a sweater or something with ASOS and Topshop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I won one of those things, and
I was
awesome,
right?
Yes, awesome. Yeah. And I actually started again maybe I could have my illustrations on clothes. And at this point I didn't even know this is an actual job.
Yeah.
And then I just continued working on that.
Okay, so can you tell me, for example, describe how your usual workday looks like?
Yeah, that's a difficult one because I was discussing this with my boyfriend and I was like, what am I going to say to this? Because the truth is, I get up, I check my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the best habit, I guess, but I have to reply to everything and check what's happening, and somehow it helps me to check to know what I have to do during the day. This is how I check in with my workload. How many emails did I get? How many inquiries do I have to? Any estimates, or how was my post working on Instagram? Did I reach anybody or no one at all? Or
yeah, that's the question. Sometimes that's the most common one.
And usually I try to do with my first coffee my orders to pack them and make them ready to be sent out. like to have that at the table. And it's super cheerful to wake up and you have 2 orders. I mean, yes, I'm dancing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, those are the joys of being a small shop owner, right? When you know that actually somebody on the other side of the world will have something yours, and I think this is a great feeling.
Absolutely, makes me happy every time.
We need a little bit of everything. We are shop owners. Many times we are also like we give service, illustration service, right? So there are many aspects of illustration career that we like accumulate in one person, right? In one creative person.
Yeah, there's a lot to know and a lot to like struggle with actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think in the future we should like continue and get together even more, especially when it comes to prices. Like nothing is really transparent, and we don't have like actual rates who like are for everyone. So everyone does their own prices, and I mean underpricing is the worst. It destroys the entire industry, I think.
Yeah, I agree, because also recently I've been talking a lot about it with fellow illustrators about all the aspects of pricing our work, and I think we all had this conclusion at the end that all of us, it doesn't really matter the experience that we might have, but all of us have the same like observations that we don't really know exactly the prices. I mean, we all know the aspects, the licensing part, and all the things that you have to take into consideration when you price your work. But there really isn't it's not as easy as just make a price list and this illustration will be Y and this illustration will be Z. It's very hard to actually put a price to your work, and I think it's also many times hard for clients to understand the ways that we price our work. So there are many aspects of that also. So it's really like a rich topic to talk about as well.
Yeah, that's like a whole big thing which should be like more transparent, I think. There is people who would rather keep it like the way it is, because I think at some point it works really well for people who actually know how to negotiate and stuff. But on the other side, I feel like when prices are dropping, people like get used to it and expect other people to work for the same low price as well. But I mean, like, we've trained for this. This is like illustration. It's like, I mean, you put a lot of years into it.
Yeah.
To get to a point where you actually can work as a professional illustrator.
So I've got a tricky question, a hard one. What does it mean for you to be in the illustration business, to be an illustrator?
For me, it means I love what I do, which is a good thing. But yeah, this doesn't mean that I should be charged less.
Of course,
yeah. I mean, it's like a thing you discuss every day. Like, you're like, this is gonna be this and this and that, and then the client is like, why? And then you have to explain yourself and explain why you like. How could you make a living with something what is for others considered as a hobby? But it's not. It's like a lot of hard work. And for me, it means a lot of work, but it's what I love. So I don't mind working a lot because I love what I do. I mean, I said it 3 times now. But,
that's a good affirmation.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Danii loves what she does. So.
Yeah, right.
I like this one. Because it's just at the beginning of, the end of 2019. So what are your plans for 2020, for the new year? Your goals? Where do you see your illustration going? I myself really don't like answering this question because I obviously all of us have some projects and things that we want to do, but I also feel like creative careers are somehow, you can't really tell what will appear, what will go on, what will happen. So yeah, but I mean like that. So I'm just asking you this question: what are your plans and your goals for 2020?
Yeah, for 2020, I would like to do more packaging and give my work more meaning as well. Like for now, I'm working really decorative, like, and I love it. I mean, I did the textile design, which is like everything is so nice, make everything look nice. But for 2020, I really would love to like give it some meaning, to like give some pieces of myself into my work and be more unique within my style, like to have something to actually talk about, to express more.
What advice would you give to yourself a few years back, or to people who are just starting out with illustration?
That's a freaking good one, because this is still the same advice I would give myself today. Be patient and consistent.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, it's the
patience
hardest part.
is
I
the
mean, I
hardest
struggle with
one.
that every day. I think I got a bit better with it, like especially when it comes to the sense like self-esteem, self-confidence within my work. It's like, okay, right, I got there at some point, but sometimes it's so difficult to be patient.
It is.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, this is like the worst. It's like,
Really
oh,
hard.
I want this and this job and I want it now. But maybe it's not the time yet. Yeah.
Okay, where can people see your work? Where they can find you and find something more about you?
Yeah, I have a website.
It will be somewhere
fancystudio.com.
here. It will appear.
And then there is Instagram, obviously. But I try to
Somewhere there.
I try to do LinkedIn because I heard this is actually a good thing to do. Plus Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
And of course my Etsy shop where I sell art prints and stickers.
Great, great. We will leave all the details to Danii shop and website and everything somewhere on the screen. Yeah. Thank you so much for. Okay. Once again. Do I go?
I don't know. Do I? Okay, yeah, okay, I go. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for
joining.
I'm getting so bad.